on that level?
I'm not really concerned about trying to compare us to anybody else. We're going to be inside out with everything that we do. I just want us focus on being our best. And when you start comparing yourself, man, it's just a losing battle. And so I've asked our players, I've asked every coach, every administrator, certainly I've asked the fans, everybody committed to doing their best. You'll never be great at anything if you're not focused on doing your best. And so being the best is a byproduct of everybody being committed to a daily commitment of excellence. And so I'm not really, again, I don't think that's a winning way to think myself.
Brent, you had the draft tonight. You guys have a great streak. You're probably going to be able to keep that streak going with 4. What kind of impact does that have in recruiting and things like that, the draft itself?
Yeah, I think it's huge. We have a tradition of excellence at Oklahoma. This program represents, has given so much to the game of football. Has, from a historical standpoint, I think 14 straight years that Oklahoma's had 4+ players drafted. The longest streak in college football, and if things go like most people predict, this will be 15 straight years. So from a program standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, from a development standpoint, this is a game of development. We want to be a developmental program where we take tremendous pride in taking young people, 17, 18 years old, and helping them transform. And that's what we're in the business for, is helping take them to places they can't take themselves, and that journey is very real. Most of them will raise their hand when you say, how many of y'all have dreams to be a professional football player? And we know what the stats are. The stats say that 2% of all college football players have a chance to make an opening day roster. The percentage is more at Oklahoma, much more. But that being said, you can't play the game forever. But we want to facilitate all their dreams. That's certainly one, to play in the NFL. And so this is for me, for college football junkies alike. I just love the draft. I think it's that moment of rawness and just authenticity, where you see the families and these players that have worked their entire life, that from a football and dreaming standpoint, this is like the epitome of it when they're drafted. So to kind of get your popcorn and watch from home, man, what a cool, there can't be better reality TV than the NFL draft, in my opinion.
Oh, sorry. As you work to sort of turn up the energy level of the fan base, we saw it Saturday and before with the challenge you made to fans. How does events like this, the Caravan, the reintroduction of the Caravan, sort of play into that for you?
Yeah, great question. I think that for us, I think myself, as a first time, the new head coach at Oklahoma, Porter and Jenny as well, as just finished their first seasons at Oklahoma, get a chance for us to connect with the most passionate fan base in all of sports and all of college. And for us to connect, re-communicate, our visions of our programs, and show an appreciation, a thankfulness, just gratitude to the support, the love, the passion, and be able to convey the things that it's going to take for us to be our best, in each of our particular programs. So really, it's a neat opportunity for us to fist bump and connect in a different, intimate level.
What's the welcome been like here in Tulsa tonight?
It's been good. I mean, I walked right in this facility, and Mike threw me right to y'all, so it's been wonderful. It's been more of the same. No, but it's going to be a packed house, and it'll be neat to kind of kick off. This is the first of 7 events, like everybody knows, and so Tulsa's always been great for the Sooners and our university, and both academically, athletically, and just for our total university. So this will be a fun night.
Brent, you mentioned exit interviews when we were talking before the spring game. Have you had those? Have you seen some portal movement with Cody? Do you anticipate portal movement on both sides?
It's Cody.
Within the wide receiver?
Oh, okay. I was like,
yes, sorry.
All right. Yeah, I have.
Do you expect portal movement within your roster, and then bringing players in as well?
That's a possibility. All right, there's going to be lots of portal movement. Whether or not Oklahoma's involved, we'll find out. I've had almost 80 exit interviews, give or take. So I'm just about finished. We've been flowing and going. So it's been a lot of fun. It's really cool for me. One, it's an opportunity for me to hug their neck and let them know how much I appreciate them. So many of them proud of the improvement that they've made in the different areas, whether it's academically, maybe it's emotionally, just maturing. It's a fun time for me to be able to sit back and reflect the 4.5 months where maybe some of our first conversations to where we're at now, and again, just the maturation that's taken place, and to get their thoughts and get a ton of feedback. And it's really cool for me, and I'm almost to a man when I say, okay, tell me about the last 4.5 months. Just their appreciation for the environment, for the culture that we've established and are continuing to reinforce every day. I've seen them like do this a lot. I've seen them like family and relationships and talking about things that are really hard and difficult and challenging, but fun. They're enjoying that process to a man, where they have an appreciation for being held accountable and being made to do some things that maybe in their journeys they haven't been asked to do. So it's been a ton of fun for me and just educational for me, and certainly have an opportunity for me to try to create a vision for what the next several weeks is going to look like post spring, pre-finals, and then we have a variety of guys going to do micro internships around the country. We've got they're doing a service trip in May as well, and they'll learn the value of servant leadership. So super cool for me as well to hear their excitement for that, and knowing that as a dad what type of impact that's going to have on these guys, and opening doors and just paving the way for the rest of their life, beyond the game of football. So it's a really exciting time. But as much as anything, for me to let them know the gratitude that I have for them and all their hard work throughout the course of the spring, and really the complete and total buy-in to what we're asking them to do.
Brent, as you kind of shut the curtain on your first spring camp in those first 4-ish months, what are some of the things you've been able to reflect on and think back?
Reflect on?
Yourself, yeah.
Well, it's just there's so much, and all of it goes on at once. So from, again, hiring your staff, establishing your vision, establishing your values, rehearsing your beliefs, developing your relationships with your players, trying to connect with the fan base, identifying all the areas of need and improvement that you got to have, and having a lot of meetings with a lot of important people, with our administration, and figuring out, how we navigate, the immediate future and the next, several months and several years, transitioning at some point in time down the road. Probably the most complicated part of all that is managing first time or new staff, right? So transitioning with the new staff and handling NIL and the transfer portal. Like, that's been the most complicated probably area. A lot of unknowns, a lot of first times for just a lot of people. And so trying to figure all that out, all the while continuing to create the right mindset for everybody. Mindset affects everything. Attitude affects everything. And so attitude and mindset affect your heart. And my job is, we've developed a culture, because again, your culture drives behavior, and your behavior, it affects everything. And so making sure that the culture is influencing both your players, your staff, and what we say, how we say it, what we do. So you want to make sure that we're very mindful of that, and we continue to nurture that. A lot of people focus on strategy, and I think that dries up. I think that only gets you so far. And I think that when you focus on the root and you don't focus on the fruit being the wins and the success, the success is a byproduct of making sure that the root's right. So again, I said this before, we get one chance to do things right and lay the foundation and make sure that we emphasize the right things, we keep the main thing, that we're relationship driven in everything that we do. That takes time. Our culture is a foundation of relationships. You know, it's a foundation of structure and accountability and discipline. And you can have discipline and love. They go together. You know, they actually go together. Well, a lot of you, you know, are parents, and so you know exactly what that looks like. So, but you also have a culture of effort, a culture of toughness, and you know, connection, and trying to be genuine and authentic, and help facilitate these guys' journey. You know, it's very important to me because I know what the work that has to go in, how difficult the journey is, how hard it gets for these young guys. So I try to do everything we can to help our guys focus on the right stuff, to think the right way, to handle it day by day, quit worrying about someday, focusing on today, and helping our guys having some joy in their journey. And because the world will steal your joy in a minute if you allow it. So it's really important for me that when they look back years down the road on their experience at Oklahoma, that they had a wonderful experience, an experience where they were empowered, where they're equipped, and where they feel confident for whatever's next beyond the game of football. So you do that, again, just really one day at a time, be very intentional about again, those relationships, and again, how you help your players think the right way, how help them to focus on the right things. And it's been a lot of fun. That part has been a lot of fun. And the players have, you know, they'll see right through you in a minute. And so they've had a lot of fun knowing that where we're coming from, what our motivation is. And so you lead from a place of love. You lead from a place of positivity. I know there's a precursor for positive results is positive thinking. So try to not have your head in the sand, but be you know, just try to help them have an attitude of belief. And so us as a program, we got to have that too, believing in all the right things and having a can-do, get-to mindset. And again, just getting our guys to think the right way. And to me, that's why, to a man, they're coming in and saying, Coach, man, I'm having fun. Coach, I feel like this is family. This is what, but at the same time, they're grinding as hard as they've ever grinded. They're being held accountable. There's more discipline and accountability than they've probably ever had, and we're not looking the other way. So we're not going to compromise the values and the expectations and the standards of our program. So they understand that too, and so it's a lot that's going on there, and we're trying to recruit too, by the way, and so I probably left out about 20 other things that we've been doing. What's it been like? But it's been all those things, and like you're 10 and 10 on that treadmill, and nonstop, you know. And it's been fun though. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I don't. Again, I've said it before. When you love what you do, it's not like it's work, man. You work for purpose. You don't work for money, man. You just there. You find all kinds. That's where you get your energy and your focus and your enthusiasm for what you do.
Brent, how much do you think about the SEC?
Coach has to keep going.
I mean, that's down the road. He asked about how much do I think about the SEC. That's down the road, and we're trying to build a program so that we can compete with anybody in college football, that we become the standard in college football. And I do have a very clear vision for what that looks like. We got a lot of work to do. So how much? You looking for a percentage? How many days a month?
However you want to put it, man.
I think about everything all the time, like nonstop. That's in my mind at least once a day. So I'm consumed by everything, though. My job is to have foresight and to be very thorough in all my thinking, but at the same time be focused on being inside out. And you know, I think about everything. I think about, you know, what that first play against UTEP's going to look like. You know, but I also know that I got to focus on being very committed to right here in the moment. You know, if there's power in the present, there's hope in the future, and right now my feet are right here, right now, and so I am focused that way too. So, but I'm supposed to have, you know, foresight to be able to look down the road too.
Thank you, Coach.
Is that it?